luxury has a stubborn glow. Watches, bags, couture, yachts, these things used to march to their own drum, powered by big dreams and even bigger bank balances. In recent years, that drumbeat started to slow. In this episode of Everything Explained, we unpack why luxury is falling, not collapsing, but cooling, recalibrating, and maybe even reinventing itself. We'll look at economic forces, changing tastes, and the strange economics of scarcity. The result isn't a demolition of luxury, but a reshaping of where and how people spend big on beauty, status, and experience. First, the macro weather. The world's economies aren't in the same place they were a few years ago. Inflation cooled, but high interest rates stayed in place longer than many expected. That matters when your average luxury purchase is a car, a watch, or a handbag that costs several months of an ordinary salary. For many households, big-ticket buys moved from routine to careful planning. Merchants noticed growth that once felt unstoppable began to look more like a glide instead of a sprint. And brands that used to rely on new product cycles for momentum found themselves counting on repeat purchases at higher price points, even as demand cooled. It's a simple truth. Luxury still depends on rich people feeling confident enough to open their wallets, and today, those wallets are being measured more carefully. Second, Asia's wild ride. China was the engine in the luxury boom, then pulled back before roaring back again. Reopenings, travel surges, and celebrity sightings mattered, but the rhythm wasn't steady. Local buyers increasingly chased domestic brands and experiences rather than importing from abroad. Currency moves, taxes, and the sheer complexity of shopping across borders also dampen impulse buys. On the other hand, demand for prestige items persists, and luxury houses have shifted to stronger e-commerce and localized marketing. In short, the market isn't dead in Asia, it's recalibrating, more selective about where and how money is spent. Third, people's tastes are changing. After years of pandemic staying at home, many shoppers now want more than a label. They want stories, provenance, sustainability, and a sense of belonging. That's pushed some buyers toward pre-owned markets where a near-new bag can be found at a lower price, or toward rental services for special occasions. The luxury resale sector has grown. Consumers are weighing value and stewardship alongside status. This is a sign that luxury isn't vanishing, it's diversifying. A Birkin in a glass case won't vanish, but more people might buy a smaller heirloom or a lifetime scheduling experience than 5 new bags a year. The result is a broader ecosystem where ownership isn't the only path to feeling elevated. Fourth, the economics inside luxury businesses are shifting. Costs like raw materials, energy, and shipping rose during the supply shocks of the last decade. And while some of those costs have cooled, the price tags don't always reset to pre-pandemic levels. Brands are experimenting with new pricing, limited editions, and even more aggressive seasonal drops to maintain buzz without saturating the market. Online channels changed the game by widening access, but they also shrink the thrill of scarcity that used to help push prices higher. The upshot: the luxury market is learning to balance the urge for exclusivity with the reality that more people can access more items more easily than ever before. Fifth, where you are matters. The Americas have been steadier than Europe or parts of Asia, but even there, the tailwinds aren't as strong as they were a few years back. Europe remains sensitive to inflation, energy costs, and the slow pace of recoveries in luxury tourism. And in Asia, the story is still unfolding, with government policies, currency shifts, and shifting tastes all playing a role. Taken together, it's not a singular boom and bust arc, it's a patchwork of local rhythms. For brands, that means tailoring products to each market and, sometimes, lowering the temperature on global launches in favor of regionally focused campaigns. Does this mean luxury is finished? Not at all. It means luxury is in a period of adjustment, rethinking what factors drive value, who buys, and how to keep desire high without fueling the kind of price overload that can turn buyers away. The next phase will likely feature more affordable entry points, more collaboration across categories, and more emphasis on experiences and storytelling rather than just possessions. For shoppers, the signal is simple. Ask not just how much something costs, but what it represents, how it will fit your life, and how long you'll treasure it. Luxury isn't dying, it's redefining itself for a world that wants to be dazzled, but also more thoughtful about its choices. So stay curious, and watch how luxury evolves from a single peek into a conversation about taste, value, and the life you choose to build.